Welcome to my channel Crazy to Learn. Today we will discuss some multiple choice question and answer from chapter gravitation. Okay, let's start. Today's first question is, a planet has a mass 4 times and diameter twice that of Earth. Value of g on the planet is 9.8 meter per second square, 19.6 meter per second square, C 4.9 meter per second square, D 39.2 meter per second square. So before going to this question, I want to give some hints about the Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation explains what? Newton's law of gravitation explains the gravitational force of attraction between the two body. The gravitational force of, according to the Newton's law of gravitation, the gravitational force of attraction F directly proportional to the product of two body and inversely proportional square of their distance between them. Okay, so if you together take, what will you get? F proportional to capital M small m by r square. And if you will take out the proportionality sign and we will put a proportionality constant, we will get F is equal to capital G capital M small m by r square, where capital G is called the universal gravitational constant. So finally what we got? Now according to the Newton's law of gravitation, the gravitational force of attraction between the two body is equal to the capital G capital M small m by r square, where capital M and small m are the masses of the two bodies. If you take this body as and mass is capital M, another body is small m, the distance between them, if you will take r, then the gravitational force of attraction between the two body F is equal to capital G capital M small m by r square. R is the distance between the two object. Distance between the two object. Clear? All clear? Now again we got a formula. We got a formula F is equal to capital G capital M small m by r square. Then we also know that F is equal to mass into F is equal to ma. So here the acceleration is acceleration due to gravity, so you can write F is equal to mg. Just equate these two. It is the formula of F and it is also the formula of F. Just equate these two things, we will get small mg is equal to capital G capital M small m by r square. So cancel small m from the both the side, we will get small g is equal to capital G capital M by r square. So this small g represents here the acceleration due to gravity, and the acceleration due to gravity is equal to the universal gravitational constant capital G into mass of the other object and divided by square of the distance between the two body or two objects. All are clear? All are clear about the concept? So I described all these things to find out this formula. So all you are clear about this formula? What is the formula for the acceleration due to gravity? Small g. Okay, now we will go for our question. Okay, now we will go for our question. Small g is equal to capital G capital M by r square. Okay, now we will go for our question. A planet has a mass 4 times and diameter twice that of the Earth. So if we will take the mass of the other planet as compared to the Earth is 4 times, so just take the mass of the other planet. Okay, other planet MP is equal to 4 times of that of Earth, that is 4 ME, and diameter twice of the Earth. So diameter of the planet, other planet, is equal to 2 times of diameter of Earth. So if we divide both sides 2, we will get radius. So radius of other planet is equal to 2 of radius of Earth. Clear? So the mass of the other planet is 4 times of the mass of the Earth, and radius of the other planet is the 2 times of the radius of the Earth. Now what is the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth? Small g is equal to gravitational constant into mass. What is the mass of the Earth? The mass of the Earth me divided by radius square. What is the radius of the Earth? re square. Clear? This is the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth. Now we will find out the acceleration due to gravity of the other planet. Small g p is equal to, what is the formula? Just put according to this formula, what will you get? Now universal gravitational constant capital G, then mass of the other planet divided by radius of the square of the radius of the other planet. Okay, now in this formula just put the values. Capital G, mass of the other planet is 4 times of the mass of the Earth. So in the place mp I put here 4me divided by, in the place of rp, radius of the other planet is 2 times of the radius of the Earth. So I put here 2re whole square. Clear? So what will you get? 4 capital G me divided by 4 radius of your re. E is subscripted here to represent the mass of the Earth, and re, what is the meaning of re? The radius of the Earth. Clear? Clear? Square, sorry, 4 re square. So 4 cancel. So what we are getting here? G me by re square. So what is this? Capital G me re square, which is equal to the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth, which is equal to the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth, ge. So what you concluded here? The acceleration due to gravity of the other planet gp is equal to acceleration due to gravity of the Earth, ge. So gp is equal to ge. And what is the acceleration due to gravity in case of Earth? We already know, we all know the acceleration due to gravity in case of Earth, it is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So what is your answer? The answer is 9 meter per second square. Option A is the correct one. All you are clear? All you are clear about this question? Okay. Our next question is, mass of 1/880 moon is that of Earth and its radius is 1/4 of the radius of the Earth. Acceleration due to gravity on the surface of moon as compared with that on the surface of the Earth is. So this question is very similar to the previous question. So we will proceed as the previous. We know the formula for the acceleration due to gravity, small g is equal to capital G m by r square. And here it is given to you the mass of the moon. So mass of the moon, small mm, is equal to, here capital M represent the mass, here small m is subscripted, written at the down part, because to represent the mass of the moon. Okay, don't confuse. So the mass of the moon is 1/80 of mass of Earth. So that means, what is the meaning of it? The mass mm is equal to 1/80 into mass of Earth. So you can write like this, me by 80. So here me means mass of Earth. Okay, so mass of the moon is equal to the mass of Earth divided by 80. Similar way, radius of moon is equal to 1/4 of radius of Earth. So Rm is equal to 1/4 into radius of earth. So we can write like Re by 4. Clear? Now we will find the acceleration due to gravity in case of moon. Gm, acceleration due to gravity for moon, is equal to universal gravitational constant into mass of the moon divided by radius of the moon square. Clear? Then universal gravitational constant is constant, then mass of the moon is equal to the mass of the earth divided by 80, then divided by radius of the moon is equal to radius of the earth divided by 4 whole square. So in the place of radius of moon I put the radius of earth divided by 4, and in the place of mass of moon I replaced with mass of earth divided by 80. So here take 1 by 80 out, then we will get capital G into mass of the earth divided by 1 by 4 whole square is equal to 1 by 16. 1 by 16 radius of the earth square. Clear? So just solve it again. What we will get? 1 by 80 divided by 1 by 16, that means multiplied with 16. 1 by 80 divided by 1 by 16, that means 1 by 80 into reciprocal of 1 by 16. Reciprocal of 1 by 16 is 16. Clear? Then Gme by Re. So 16 16 into 5 is equal to 80. So when you cancel we will get 5. So what we are getting here? 1/5 of capital G Me by Re. So what is this capital G Me Re? Just think, the acceleration due to gravity for earth is equal to the universal gravitational constant G into mass of the earth divided by radius of the earth square. Yes or no? It is the acceleration due to gravity of earth. So in the place of capital G Me by Re square, Re square. So in the place of capital G Me Re square I can write small ge. So it is 1/5 small ge. So what you concluded here? The acceleration due to gravity of moon Gm is equal to 1/5 of acceleration due to gravity of earth. Clear? So this is your final answer. So what is asked to you? Acceleration due to gravity on the surface of moon as compared with that of the surface of the earth is 1/5. I got it here. So what is the final answer? The final answer is 1/5. Option C is the correct one. Clear? Our next question is, weight of a body inside a satellite is 0, more than that on the surface of earth, less than that on the surface of earth, same as that on the surface of earth. It is a very simple question, more explanation not needed, because we know that when a body is inside a satellite, it is the condition of weightlessness. It is called condition of weightlessness. That means, as in case of free fall there is no weightlessness, similar way here also when a body inside a satellite, it is the condition of weightlessness. There is no weight. Weight is equal to 0. So which is the correct option? Option A is the correct one. Okay, directly we will choose the answer. The weight of the body is 0. Okay. Our next question is, two planets having masses m1 and m2 are and radii r1 and r2 respectively have equal acceleration due to gravity. ratio m1 by m2 of their masses is equal to. The previous discussed two problem and this problem, all three problems are very much similar and based on a single concept, but I am taking here this type of similar questions so that you will have a clear concept about the topic. Okay, all three questions are very much similar based on the single concept, but when you will solve different type of question, you will get a clear idea. So similar way we will proceed to solve this question. Okay, so we know the formula of acceleration due to gravity, small g is equal to capital G m by r square. So similar way, if we will find the acceleration due to gravity of the first planet, small g1 is equal to universal gravitational constant capital G into mass of the first planet, that means m1, divided by radius of the first planet, that means r1 square. So this is the acceleration due to gravity of the first planet. And what is the acceleration due to gravity of the second planet? Now g2 is equal to capital G, universal constant, mass of the second planet, that means m2, divided by radius of the second planet, r2 square. Okay, then according to our question, it is given to you they both have equal acceleration due to gravity. They both have equal acceleration due to gravity. That means according to question, g1 is equal to g2. Clear? So put the value capital G m1 by r1 square is equal to capital G m2 by r2 square. G cancel from the both the side. Now it is asked to you to find the ratio of m1 m2. So take m2 this place, and it is the process of cross multiplication. We know, just cross multiply, we will get m1 r2 square is equal to m2 r1 square. Clear? Then m2 multiplied here, just take to the left hand side, we will get division. So m1 divided by m2 is equal to r2 square is multiplied in the left hand side, when you will take to the right hand side it will be divided. So r1 square divided by r2 square. Okay, so what the ratio of m1 m2 we got here? The ratio of m1 by m2 is equal to r1 square divided by r2 square. So we choose the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. All you are clear? Okay. Next problem is, the artificial satellite, once set in motion, continue to move around the earth by receiving energy from the sun, burning the chemical fuel, storage cell or none. So it is a direct question. Artificial satellite once set in motion. So remember what is written here, once set in motion, that means the satellite is already set for the motion in the orbit. So when once the satellite is set and it continues in motion, then it is the case of equilibrium. Okay, in the case of equilibrium, satellite does not need any of the source to receive the energy. Okay, neither from the sun nor from the burning of the chemical fuel, not from the storage cell. So which is the correct answer? None. Okay, once the artificial satellite set in motion in the orbit, then after that it does not need any energy from any source. Clear? Our next problem is, if the earth expands suddenly to twice of its radius, the duration of the day will become 48 hours or 12 hours or 6 hours or 96 hours. This is a very important question, so please listen and watch carefully. Okay, let's start. So to solve this question, you have the idea of moment of inertia. So we know the moment of inertia of a solid sphere, axis of rotation about its diameter. That means the moment of inertia of a solid sphere, any solid sphere when rotating about its own axis, any solid sphere when it is rotating about an axis, and axis of rotation is its diameter, axis of rotation passing through its any of its diameter, then what is the moment of inertia? What is the moment of inertia formula? I is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. It is the formula for the moment of inertia of a solid sphere rotating about its own axis and axis passing through its diameter. What is the axis? Axis is its diameter. That means when a solid sphere, just take a potato and if you put a small stick inside the potato through its any diameter, then when it rotates, that is the moment of inertia. So similarly, moment of inertia of a solid sphere, axis of rotation, that means the solid sphere is rotating about its own axis and axis passing through its diameter, and the solid sphere rotating through itself, so axis of rotation of its diameter. Then the formula of moment of inertia, I is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. You will ask how you get this formula. You will get this formula in your book. Okay, derivation is also given. If I will derive here, then it will take lots of time, so I directly note down the formula, and you will get the derivation from the book. Otherwise, in any other class I will derive how I get the moment of inertia is equal to the moment of inertia of a solid sphere, axis of rotation about its diameter is 2 by 5 mr square, where m is the mass of the solid sphere, r is the radius of the sphere. Okay, now we will go for the solution. Remember this formula. Okay, when you take the solid sphere, moment of inertia of a solid sphere, axis of rotation about its tangent, it will be 7 by 5. Okay, it will different about its tangent. When you take a solid sphere, okay, axis of rotation is here, then the moment of inertia I is equal to 7 by 5 mr square. Okay, it will be different. Okay, so you should have to keep it in mind what is the axis of rotation. Okay, as here for this problem we are considering the earth, and earth is rotating about its own axis and axis passing through its diameter, so we require this formula, not this formula. But if you will get a problem where the solid sphere is given to you and axis of rotation is given to you, axis of rotation is it's a tangent, one of its tangent, it's axis of rotation. That means the sphere is rotating about its tangent. Then if this is the tangent and sphere is revolving like this, rotating like this, okay, then just wait, just think, this is the solid sphere. Okay, if you will pass the axis through its diameter, okay, if you will pass the axis through its diameter and the solid sphere will rotate like this, then the moment of inertia is 2 by 5 mr square. But the axis of rotation is there as a tangent, and the solid sphere will rotate like this. Okay, the solid sphere will rotate like this, then the moment of inertia is 7 by 5 mr square. Clear? So as in this problem we are considering the case of the earth, we will take this or this. the earth is rotating about its own axis and axis passing through the diameter. So we will consider this case. Okay, so we will go for the solution of the problem. So moment of inertia I is equal to 2 by 5 m r square, but for this problem the radius r is twice, so in the place of r we will take 2r. Okay, so in the place of r we will take 2r square. So what will you get? 2 by 5 m 4r square. So just take 4 out, 4 into 2 8, 8 by 5 mr square. Okay, so the new, if you will take the new one is I dash. So the first I, the moment of inertia in the first case when the radius is r is 2 by 5 mr square, but when you will twice the radius, then now the new moment of inertia is 8 by 5 mr square. Then now come to the angular momentum. So as it is asked to you, earth expands suddenly twice of its radius, but for both the cases the angular momentum is same. The angular momentum is same. So now we will calculate the angular momentum L. So what is angular momentum L? The formula of angular momentum L is I omega. It is very easy. As we know in linear momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Linear momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Similar way, the angular momentum L is equal to, so in linear motion in place of mass, when we will come for the rotational motion, in the place of mass we have to take the moment of inertia. And for linear motion the linear velocity v, but for rotational motion in the place of velocity we have to take the angular velocity. And what is angular velocity? The angular velocity is omega. So what is the formula for the angular momentum? Is I omega. It is very easy to remember. Okay, when you are thinking for the rotational motion, just compare with the linear motion. In the place of mass you have to take moment of inertia, in the place of velocity you have to take angular velocity, in the place of acceleration you have to take the angular acceleration. In this way we can easily find out the formula. So for both the cases the angular momentum is same. So now we will calculate the angular momentum for the both the cases when the r is there and when r is 2r. So first find out the angular momentum L for the first case when radius is r. L is equal to I omega. And what is the value of I? The value of I is 2 by 5 mr square. We know 2 by 5 mr square. And what is the value of omega? What is omega? The omega is the angular velocity, and we know that omega angular velocity is equal to 2 pi by t, where t is the time period. So in the place of omega just write 2 pi by t. Clear? Now what is the angular momentum for the second case L dash? For the second case the radius is increased twice, that means r is 2r. So the new angular momentum L dash is I dash omega dash. So what is I dash? The I dash is 8 by 5 mr square. And what will be the omega dash? Now omega dash is 2 pi is constant, so it will not change for different cases. Both the cases the same, but the time period will change. So time period is t dash. So omega dash is 2 pi by t dash. So in the place of omega dash just put 2 pi by t dash. Clear? So for the both the cases we have same angular momentum. The angular momentum will be same for both the cases. So we will take L is equal to L dash. In the place of L, just write 2 by 5 mr square into 2 pi by t, and L dash place write 8 by 5 mr square 2 pi by t dash. So mr square both side cancel. Okay, 2 pi cancel. So what we are getting now, 2 by 5 1 by t is equal to 8 by 5 1 by t dash. Okay, cancel 5 from the both the side. Now what will you get? 2 by t is equal to 8 by t dash. Then cross multiply, 2t dash is equal to 8t. Okay, then t dash by t is equal to 8 by 2, that means 4. Okay, so what you are getting here? T dash is equal to 4t. So the new time period is equal to 4 times of the previous time period, 4 times of the previous time period. And what is the time period for the rotation of? It is asked to you the duration of the day. So what is the time period for the day? We know that for one day the time period is 24 hours. So the new time period t dash is equal to 4 times of the previous one. So 4 into 24 hours. So what will be the answer? 4 into 24, it is 96 hours. It is your answer. Clear? So which one is the correct answer? Option D is the correct answer. Clear? Now the new time period is the 4 times of the previous one. So the normal time period is 24 hours for one day. So now the new time period is the 4 times of the normal one. So 4 times of 24 hours, that means 96 hours. All you are clear? Okay. Our next question is, an astronaut orbiting the Earth in a circular orbit 120 km above the surface of Earth gently drops a spoon from the spaceship. The spoon will fall vertically down the Earth, move towards the moon, will move along the ship, will move in an irregular way and then fall down to Earth. So what will be the answer? The answer is very simple. Directly, without any calculation, directly we can choose the answer. So when a spaceship is orbiting around the Earth, so some height is given to you. So when a spoon or any object is dropped from the spaceship, then the object acquires the initial velocity of the spaceship. When any object is dropped from the spaceship, it acquires the initial velocity of the spaceship. So when it acquires the initial velocity of the spaceship, what will happen then? Now it will move along the ship. They have now the velocity of that object is equal to the velocity of the spaceship, initial velocity it will acquire. So the object or spoon will move along the ship. Okay, so option C is the correct. Our next question is, if R represents the radius of the orbit of satellite of mass small m moving around a planet of mass capital M, then the velocity small v of the satellite is given by. So it is asked to you to find the velocity of the satellite. You should have to you can remember the answer, what the answer we will get from this question. You can remember that answer as a formula also for the velocity of the satellite. So when a satellite is moving around a planet, so there is a gravitational force of attraction between the planet and the satellite, yes or no? So we know from the Newton's law of gravitation, the gravitational force of attraction between the two objects, the planet and the satellite, F is capital G, universal gravitational constant, into mass of the product of the mass of the two objects, mass of, that means here the two objects are planet and the satellite, so product of the mass of the planet into mass of the satellite. So mass of the planet is capital M and mass of the satellite is small m, divided by distance between them. R represents the orbit distance. So planet is there and orbit is there and satellite is revolving, moving around the object. So the radius of the orbit is given to you, and that is the distance between the two objects. Okay, so here the radius of the orbit, that means the distance between the planet and the satellite, is given to you. Small r represents the radius of the orbit. Radius of the orbit means the distance between the satellite and the planet. So it is r square. Clear? This is the gravitational force of attraction according to the Newton's law of gravitation. And if we will go to the concept of centripetal force, we will go for the, when an object is moving according to the centripetal force concept. What is the centripetal force for the satellite? The centripetal force F for the satellite is mass of the satellite m and the moving velocity of the satellite mv square by r, the distance. Okay, it is according to the centripetal force. It is the gravitational force of attraction according to the Newton's laws of gravitation, Newton law of gravitation, and this is the centripetal force. According to the centripetal force concept, F is equal to mv square by r. So at equilibrium, this gravitational force and the centripetal force, the if you take it is as a Fg and it is Fc. Okay, if you take it is Fg and Fg at equilibrium, this gravitational force is equal to the centripetal force. Okay, this gravitational force is equal to the centripetal force. So what is the gravitational force? Fg is equal to the centripetal force Fc. Okay, so what is the value of the gravitational force? Now, gravitational constant capital G, capital M, small m by r square is equal to small m v square by r. Capital M, small m, you should have to distinguish, because capital M is the mass of the planet but small m is the mass of the satellite. Okay, now cancel 1r and 1r from both the side, small m from the both the side. So what is the remaining thing we are getting here? Now v square is equal to capital G capital M by r, capital G capital M by r. So what is the formula we are getting here for the velocity of the satellite? The velocity of the satellite, v square is equal to capital G capital M by r. Otherwise we can also write small b, the velocity of the satellite is capital G capital M by divided by small r square root. So this is the formula for the velocity of the satellite. But for this question it is asked to choose the option for the velocity of the satellite, and v square is given. So v square is equal to capital G capital M divided by r. So which is the correct option? Option A is the correct one. Clear? and you can use this formula to calculate any numerical problem when it is asked to you to calculate the velocity of the satellite. Let us think that mass of the the mass of the planet is given to you, and the distance of the orbit, radius of the orbit is given to you, and it is asked to you calculate the velocity of the satellite. You can easily calculate, put the value of g, because capital G is the universal gravitational constant, you know. Then capital M is the mass of the planet is given to you, radius of the orbit is given to you, then you can easily calculate the velocity of the satellite by using this formula. So just remember this answer as a formula also. Okay, all you are clear? Okay.